It's Big Marv!
In the World Wide Web, they call the internet, with different types of social media. Store the information sorta like encyclopedia.
Hey you guys, this is Big Marv here, and welcome back to another episode of Mornings with Marv. So this morning I want to talk about bringing down your walls. Now, what does that mean? Now, we as human beings, we have our natural defenses where when you get hurt or you go through a traumatic or bad experience, you naturally you're trying to protect yourself. You might even do it on a subconscious level without even realizing you're doing it. But when you encounter those situations again, or maybe you go into such a protective state that you drastically change things around you, or things that you're doing or things that you're saying, just to try to prevent those bad things from happening again, essentially living in fear. Now, a lot of people might say, I'm not living in fear, I'm just being protective. Now, I do believe it's important that when you do go through things, you evaluate those things and you learn lessons, because I believe we're all energy. We all cross paths for a reason. You might not know what that reason is now, but there's a reason that, you're watching this video right now, for example. There's a reason that you run into people into places. There's a reason people stop talking to you, right? Every time something happens, good or bad, there's always a reason for it. It's to teach you some sort of life lesson, whatever you're going through right now, to help you progress as a human being. Now, because we naturally have our defense mechanisms, we will sometimes put up walls. Like I said, sometimes you do it subconsciously, not even realizing you're putting up a wall, a defense there, having detractors in place that are keeping people from connecting with you and helping you progress, just because you have the fear of it happening again. Now, I'm going to encourage you to accept that all things happen, good or bad, and that they all happen for a reason. We're all on this journey, that we call life, and we're trying to figure out why things are happening. Nobody's figured out the meaning of life yet, but we all take this journey together, and we all cross paths, and a lot of us even follow similar paths, similar journeys, and we're connected on this journey for a long time. Some of us are connected on this journey throughout our entire life. I even have some friends where we'll connect for a few years, then we won't talk for a few years, and then we'll reconnect just like it was yesterday, and we just go on different legs of the journey, so to speak. And so I'm going to encourage you that, when things happen to you, like, accept that, maybe it did happen to you, maybe it was to teach you a lesson, but maybe it wasn't to keep you from doing that ever again. And I want to give you a live example. So for example, I've spent a lot of money on different courses, coaches, mentors, and not all of them have been great. Some courses have been just absolutely terrible. Some coaches have been terrible. And then I've also, as a coach, I've had students that I've taken on where maybe I shouldn't have taken on the student, or jobs that I've taken on where I shouldn't have taken it on, because I was living in fear of rejection, fear of, I can't let these people down, or whatever it may have been. I was taking these risks because I had my own issues that I was dealing with. Or I'd go through these courses, and for a while, after I got burnt on my first course, it took me probably 6 or 7 months before I invested again. And it wasn't because I didn't have the money. I had plenty of capital to invest, but because I got burnt so bad, I was like, fuck these guys, fuck, courses, fuck coaches. It's not going to work out. It's not worth it. They're just all bad. They're all here to scam you. I can learn it on YouTube, blah, 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 every excuse under the sun, rather than accepting, hey, I didn't do my due diligence. Because I took another look at it, and I started looking at another perspective, and I was like, no, it was actually a solid course. It just wasn't right for me, right? Because I had already gone past that phase in my life, but because it was a shiny toy and I just jumped on it, I was expecting the world out of it, and my expectations were wrong because I didn't fully vet or understand what I was doing. I just got sucked into the circle, right? Now, had I done some research and gotten some feedback and checked out the guy and read about the course and seen what I was actually getting out of the course and set realistic expectations for myself, I wouldn't have made the purchase. Now that I've hired several coaches and mentors and taken several courses, every time I do it, I know to vet, my coaches. I know when I'm looking for a coach, I'm looking for somebody that's taken a similar path or a similar journey to me that I have or that I'm on right now. So when I do hit those problems and those roadblocks, they're going to actually be able to help me, guide me through the way, right? So what I'm going to encourage you to do today is take a look at some of the things that you're doing, some of the actions that you're taking, and ask yourself, are you putting up unnecessary walls? Are you putting up unnecessary defenses? Or are you keeping yourself from taking action and doing things that are going to benefit you and progress you because you're scared of living through something bad again? And if you are keeping yourself from progressing, I'm going to encourage you to maybe take that leap, take that risk, and see what the next hand that life has for you. Life is 90% reaction and 10% circumstance. That means whatever you're going through, it's only a 10% circumstance. Now, if you can control your reactions and how you react to a situation, you can really craft a life that you choose. It just depends on how you react to those situations and control your actions. So I'm going to leave you with that, and I'll see you guys in the morning for another episode of Mornings with Marv. Thank you guys for tuning in. One love.